You would recall that even before he formally took office, he set up a team to receive information regarding suspected acts of corruption and corruption-related activities. That team finished its work a month or so ago and presented a report to the president, who promptly handed it over to the Attorney General for more detailed investigations and inquiry, in order that he may determine if sufficient basis exists to look further into those matters. The Attorney General has also been busy at work pouring through the documents and making determinations on whether or not there is sufficient basis to take action against specific named individuals who are of interest. In the last few weeks, significant actions have been taking place with the arrest and questioning of some individuals of interest to the Attorney General at this moment. And in order that further light is brought to bear on the subject and update the Ghanaian people on what has been happening so far, the Attorney General has kindly joined us this morning to give an update on the events that have taken place in the last few weeks and where he is in terms of looking into the various matters. So without wasting any more of your time, I would invite the Attorney General to take the floor and give the Ghanaian people, through the power of the media, an update on what he has been doing in relation to Operation Recover or Lose. Mr. Attorney General, the floor is yours. Thank you very much.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the media. My fellow countrymen and women, so I have called you here today to brief you on recent developments arising out of our investigations as a department. The briefing is in two parts. The first part relates to the arrest and detention of Mr. Kobina Edu-Boahene and Madam Angela Ajayi Boateng and other suspects on March 20th and March 21st, respectively. The second will consist of an update, very broad in character, on the investigations arising out of or in connection with the oral report that was presented to me on the 10th of February this year. So first, to the Edu-Boahene case, because it has raised very significant interest because of the nature of the arrest. You will recall that he was arrested at the airport, and I started getting calls from all quarters regarding his arrest. So at about 9 p.m. on Thursday, March 20th, 2025, an operation carried out by a team of investigators from the Economic and Organized Crime Office, which is under the Ministry of Justice, led to the arrest of Mr. Kobina Edu-Boahene. The arrest was effected at the Kotoka International Airport in Accra when Mr. Edu-Boahene disembarked from a British Airways flight. Mr. Edu-Boahene is the immediate past Director General of the National Signals Bureau of the National Security, formerly known as the Bureau of National Communications. It must be made clear from them, this operation by Mr. Raymond Archer, the Deputy Executive, on February 25th, 2025, around 11:30, via British Airways flight BA 078 to London. Days after that, EOCO received further intelligence that the suspect had flown from the United Kingdom to Dubai and had purchased an Emirates airline ticket, which suggested that he was expected to arrive in Ghana on Friday, March 21st, 2025 at 12 noon via Emirates flight number EK 187. On Thursday, March 20th, 2025, EOCO received intelligence again, additional intelligence, that the suspect had cancelled his flight and rescheduled his arrival to Ghana from Dubai to April 18, 2020. That is April 8th, not 18, April 8th, 2020. Now, I want this chronology to sink in because of a point that I will be making later on about why we are detaining him. On March 20th, around 3 p.m., EOCO's operational team, led by the acting deputy executive director in charge of operations, assessed its operational plan to include the possibility that the suspect could have traveled back to London to fly to Ghana in an attempt to evade surveillance. EOCO assessed with high confidence that the changes made by the suspect in terms of arrival date in Ghana may have been calculated steps to mislead investigators and throw them off any possible surveillance. EOCO further assessed that the time of the cancellation of the Emirates flight coincided with the time the British Airways was expected to fly from Heathrow to Ghana. The decision was taken to place the suspect on a stop order and make emergency operational adjustments and brace for his unexpected arrival and arrest of the suspect on either British Airways or KLM, which was expected to arrive in Accra. An hour to the arrival of the British Airways flight 078 in Accra, EOCO received intelligence that a name similar to that of suspect Kobina Edubohin, he had changed from K. Edubohin to O. Edubohin in the manifest, may be on the British Airways flight. The suspect had slightly altered his name on the name that is reflected on all his passports. Around 9 p.m. on March 21st, the suspect was stopped by Ghana Immigration Service as he attempted to use the commercially important person CIP terminal at the Kotoka International Airport. Now, he had changed his class from business class to economy, okay, and decided to evade arrest through the CIP. That he also has a normal passport. Usually, you would have a normal passport before you are issued the service passport. EOCO is currently following up on intelligence that the suspect may be holding a foreign passport from 2018 by citizenship. He is the immediate past Director General of the National Signals Bureau, in addition to the now defunct Bureau of National Communications. Prior to the enactment of the NSB, Edubohin served on October 23, 2018, which they named, and listen carefully, BNC Communications Bureau Limited. It is important to note that the similarity between the names here, that is BNC, was designed, to engage in a criminal enterprise, which will unfold as I go further. For purposes of differentiation, we will call the private company Private BNC and call Ghana Signal and National Security BNC the National BNC. Mr. Edubohin, who is the head or who was the head of the BNC, and his wife are listed as directors of the private BNC. Okay, so they registered the company, and the two of them, together are the directors of the company, the two directors of the company. On October 26, 2018, the couple opened a corporate account for their private BNC at Universal Merchant Bank, UMB. According to the mandate on the account, either of the directors could sign checks and approve transactions on the account. In his capacity as director of the National BNC, Mr. Edubohin on January 30th, 2020, signed a contract on behalf of the government of